The big house stood back from the minor road. It had been hard to find, and Edward was glad he had the benefit of the taxi driver's local knowledge. Edward had got a taxi from Knaresborough, as it was nearly 10 miles to Hackthwaite from the station, and a walk would have been a hard one in this frost, still unthawed by the early winter sun. Edward saw the sign on the gatepost that read Hackthwaite Hall. "In here, yes, I think." Diffident as ever, Edward's voice was quiet, and the taxi driver struggled to hear him. "Beg your pardon, sir." "Here?" "Yes, I'm not blind. It says Hackthwaite on the pillar there." The man pointed over his steering wheel. The entrance to Hackthwaite Hall was like a photograph that draws your eye in. The twin entrance pillars topped with stone flowers, a rose on the left and a lily on the right, and then a long gravel drive swallowed by trees leading to the house itself, which was invisible from the road. The car turned and entered the drive, and the sound changed as the wheels crunched over the gravel. Edward mused, "I always think ivy is unfairly treated." "Sorry, sir," the driver said, not looking back. "In the song, The Holly and the Ivy, the song's named after both plants, but it's the holly that gets all the praise." "As you say, sir, I never thought of it like that." "I mean, all the pricking thorn, the blood of Jesus, the crown." "Yes, sir. But I suppose the scarlet berries of the holly are more resplendent than the green ones of the ivy. Even so, I prefer the ivy, I think. It's more discreet." "There it is, sir." The driver lifted his left hand from the wheel and indicated the house, his gloved finger like an arrow. And so Edward Smith first saw Hackthwaite Hall. He remembered his reading about it in the Victoria County History of Yorkshire. Original Tudor manor house, much remodelled in Jacobean times to its current look. Parapets, intricate stonework, featured windows to make it like an antique piece of art, or a cake of sculptured stone. Right-hand side features ill-judged Victorian accretion, but otherwise the place is symmetrical. As they neared the hall, Edward thought the central porch looked like a mouth with its stone wings on either side like enfolding arms. "Shepherd's warning," the driver said. "Sorry?" It had been dark when they set off from Knaresborough station, and now it was light. The sun, not visible, blocked by the stone of the house, had risen, and though the orb itself was out of sight, its rising had coloured the air with the vibrant red of a poppy in June. It was an unhealthy glow, Edward thought, like a furnace at work out of sight, or blood spilled in the dawn. Of course, the colour meant nothing. Colours were just themselves. White was white, red was red, yellow was yellow. They had no meaning beyond their hue. The car passed the large pond in front of the house, where water was hardened to ice. The dawn silhouettes of ducks wandered grumpily across it. The trees around stood mournful and bare. They drove further down the path to the turning circle in front of the porch with its great oaken door. A stone fountain, lichen-etched, ivy leaves hoar-frosted with white, stood silent in the centre of the gravel circle around which the taxi driver turned. The driver brought the car to an expert smooth stop. "And here we are, sir." The driver named his price, and Edward fumbled with his wallet, not finding it at first in the depths of his pocket, then giving the man the fare and a tip calculated as close to 12% as his change would allow. "Thank you kindly, sir. I'll get your bags." "I don't have much." "No, indeed you don't, sir. How long are you planning on staying?"